Welcome back to Timeout with J and G. I am Jay over here, and it's G over there.
Yo, what's going on, everyone?
And it's been a week since our last in-house podcast episode. As you guys saw from the video on Saturday, we went to our first NBA game. Friday night, we went to the Hornets, came to Washington to play the Wizards. I had a great time. How about you?
Oh hell yeah, I had an amazing time.
It
would have been better if the boy Grant Williams wouldn't have sucked an egg.
Yeah, he did have a rough game. Honestly, the end of the game got super hectic. Like all of a sudden, Kuzma started making every basket. Jordan Poole hit a step back three. It was nuts.
It was crazy.
And we might be looking to go down again here. I don't think either one of us are Wizards fans, but just the environment made it pretty fun.
Yeah, it was. I've never experienced anything like it. I've been to college basketball games. I've been to a couple MLB games, but nothing was like that.
Yeah, no, they definitely did a good job. And from what I hear, like Washington has like when it comes to the stadium, it's one of the worst stadiums. So if that's one of the worst, I can't even begin to imagine what some of these other stadiums are like.
That's the worst, man.
Not the, but one of the, I should say.
Yeah. I wonder what Crypto Arena looks like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious to see. I've been seeing pictures and stuff, but if we ever get out to LA, obviously Crypto, but I want to go see the Clippers new arena too, because from the things I've been hearing, it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
So we'll get back into our regularly scheduled podcasting Wednesdays and Saturdays, and today it is Wednesday, so we have our Broken Glass Move of the Week. Do you have yours, or do you want me to go with mine?
I got mine ready to go.
Okay.
So in the, I think it's the semifinals, the game that led to the championship for the SEC tournament, Tennessee was playing undefeated South Carolina. And with 1.1 seconds left, Tennessee was up 1. And South Carolina inbounds the ball. A girl catches it. One of the players catches it. Uncontested. No one is even within 10 feet of her.
Mm-hmm.
She shoots it and makes it.
Yep.
How does that happen? I understand you want to protect the rim, but at that point, because they were inbounding it behind half court. So to throw it to the basket, that would have had to have been one massive lob.
Now, I'm not familiar with either. I don't watch women's college basketball, honestly, outside of like Caitlin Clark. But from what I'm like reading in the comment section, people talking about like the girl, and I don't know her name off the top of my head. The girl that made the game-winning shot, comparable to like Ben Simmons hitting a game-winning shot. Like she's not a shooter at all. So
yeah, that was her first career three-pointer.
Okay, so it's like to that standing, like it's nuts that she even got the ball in that position. To be honest with you, and got that shot off, but she made it, and that's literally all that matters.
Hey, I mean, you could leave Ben Simmons open 10 times, and
you'll make one eventually.
It's that one time. That one time that you could shoot. That she could have shot 10. She could have shot that shot 10 times. She misses 9 times, but she makes that one, and that's the one she made.
And so it's like you can, in a way, you can like understand why nobody was out there, but it's like game on the line. I don't think you care who it is. Like you see somebody running wide open at the 3-point line, you at least put a body out there.
They didn't even run a play.
I was gonna say I just saw her like open,
just stood there.
Yeah, open just at the top of the 3-point line and pulled it, and like not a. I think the closest Tennessee defense hit the free throw line. Like
below it was I think Tamari Keene. She was below the free throw line, and the funny thing is Rakia Jackson was literally somewhere in between the two, just kind of just standing there wondering what she should do.
Yeah, it's just I think it caught her off guard that she caught the ball, but it's just like I don't know. Like you said, I'm sure there was a timeout before that last possession happened. There's no way you blow it to the point where somebody just gets, like I said, doesn't matter who it is. There's no way you blow it to the point where somebody's just standing wide open the 3-point line.
Yep. With Kelly Harper, she's the Tennessee Lady Vols coach.
Okay.
Unless she does something this tournament run, I think that's it.
Now, are you saying that just because they blew that, or has it been rough?
No. It's been rough. It's been rough the past like 3 years.
Okay. Okay, I don't know. I just didn't know if it was like one of those things where a big moment happens and it's like they're just kind of scapegoat her out of there, or if it's been kind of building up.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. No, what people will do is like the Tennessee men's basketball team, Rick Barnes.
Yeah,
they'll have a really good season, and then they'll lose second, third round in the tournament, and then people will be calling for Rick Barnes to be fired. That's not really.
It's not the same.
No, it's not. It is, to me, it is completely different. She I don't know. It just befuddles me with how she's coached, the lineup she's put out there at certain points.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean,
like I said, if she doesn't make,
it's fair.
If she doesn't make noise during this, during the Women's March Madness, or sorry, the after February Frenzy.
That's right. Trademark it, baby.
The women's after AFF.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think if anything, just let her ride her contract out and then find someone new, or just get someone new.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know. It's been like the past 2 or 3 years to where she's not done anything spectacular. Right. I think she's like 1-7 against top 10 ranked teams, and she's 1-12 against top 15 ranked teams.
But and maybe I'm thinking of the men's team, but hasn't Tennessee always, or at least in the past couple of years, been good? Or am I thinking of the men's team, not the women's team?
The men's have been good. They have been a top 4 ranking the past I don't know how many years.
Right.
The women used to be good when they had Pat Summitt.
Okay. So
when Pat Summitt was there, they were top of the SEC. They were up there contending with UConn every year.
Okay. I remember
with Gio or Emma.
I remember that run of UConn women's team. I do remember that. But yeah, no, it's a sucky blow. But I mean, they're still going to be in the tournament, right?
Yeah, they're slotted like an 8.
Yeah, so 7, I mean, 8. You know what? They're still in a position to make some noise. Like, it sucks that it happens, but it might not be that big a deal at the end of the day.
It might not. If we get a first round exit, I don't know. Then it might be time. First,
yeah.
And if you go against the 1 seed in the second round and you don't make it close, I don't know.
Yeah.
Granted, it always falls back onto the coach and not the players. But this Tennessee Lady Vols team should be playing better than what they are.
Interesting. Well, that was a good one. Mine's. I'm just gonna put it out here quickly because we're gonna talk about it more later in the episode. My broken glass moment of the week is just the Dallas Cowboys right now, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. And we'll get into it later. All right. I just that's what it's gonna be right now. So, as you guys, agency, I think today for agency, officially they could sign the contracts today, but since Monday they've been able to verbally agree to terms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So. It's been nuts, dude. NFL free agency this year so far has been nuts for some teams.
And the free agency actually, or the signing for restricted free agents and shit like that, it actually started 14 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, at 4:00. Okay, so we're gonna probably have some more stuff going on here during this video, during this recording. I'll keep Twitter up here, just for some big breaking news and stuff like that. As I open up here, nothing right now other than Steph Curry saying he maybe might run for president. Okay, so that's okay. It's not what I was expecting to see there. But so, like I said, if anything breaking happens, we'll update it here. If not, we'll talk on it a little bit on the Saturday episode. But it's been an insane free agency, and I think we both have it kind of up here on our phones. So there's a couple big names I want to hit on first, and then we're going to kind of go through some players and just where they've signed to, how much they got. Honestly, for most people, I don't think either one of us care how much money they made. It's just more about what team they're playing on now and to fit on our team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit. Like people were upset Robert Hunt got 5 years, $100 million for being an offensive lineman. I don't care about that shit. I'm just more interested in the team. I think that's how we both kind of approach that situation. Just so, you don't sway our opinions by the money.
Yeah, you don't, but also people underrate the offensive line.
They do. So we'll go ahead and basically, if you want to, we'll hit some. Like I said, we'll hit some of the big names first. We'll talk about it. There's one I'm pretty upset about, as I'm sure people know me as a Cowboys fan, and that is as my whole app just obviously the biggest one right now. It's Saquon Barkley leaving the Giants to go to Philly on a 3-year, $37 million deal. What was your initial reaction to that?
I was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I figured he was going to be leaving the Giants just with the position that they're in right now, but I never would have thought that he would have went to the Eagles. That kind of just went that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were going to keep who they had, everything was going to go good, and they were going to run it back.
Yeah, well, then once DeAndre Swift, that's another. DeAndre Swift ended up in Chicago on a 3-year deal. Once Swift left, I was like, okay, they're going to be in a market for running back. And I'm not going to lie to you, I thought it was going to be Josh Jacobs. I thought Josh Jacobs was going to end up there. And to see that it's Saquon, I mean, I get it. He went to Penn State. He might be a Philly fan. I don't know. If he went to Penn State, he might be a Philly fan. And if that's the case, it is what it is. But it's just, I don't know. They're a good offense, and adding a when healthy top 10 back is just it's going to be in the ass for teams in their division. But objectively as a signing, it's a great signing for Philly and for Saquon because that's a good offense for him. But as a fan of the Cowboys, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Hey, I'm on the same boat. I'm in the same boat. That it really sucks because I don't like the Eagles either. And they just seem to just keep getting better and better and better.
Shout out to Howie Roseman, man. He finds a way to get it done.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does, and it pisses me off.
That's what they thrive on. That's what them Philly people thrive on, making everybody else mad.
And then they end up sucking in the playoffs anyways.
Anyway,
go Baker!
Don't tell them that. They'll be like, oh, we just went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then you got eliminated by Baker.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, no. Again, for Saquon, I think he could really thrive in this offense because he's going to be in an offense now where it's not solely relying on him like the Giants' offense was. I mean, obviously, Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. They have Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. Like, they have weapons on offense where it's not like the Giants were like, oh, Saquon's going to get the ball most times. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a more fluid offense. And I think he's going to be better than DeAndre Swift was for him, and DeAndre Swift was really good for him.
Yeah,
it's more about health with him for Saquon.
Yeah. If he stays healthy, this Eagles team is going to be probably better than last year. But
and the thing about the Eagles team is that last year they started 10-1 or something like that. Like they were fantastic and then lost 6 of the last 7 and then lost to the playoffs. Like the Eagles were a great team last year that just for I guess a multitude of reasons kind of just fell in their face at the back half of the season with some coaching. And I'll use air quotes here, in locker room troubles, because I don't think any of us really know, but there's a bunch of reports out about locker room issues. So hopefully, they lost Jason Kelce to retirement, which was a big part of their offensive line. Fletcher Cox retired. So they lost some key players on the offensive defensive line. And, we'll see what they do to replace that. I think they're moving – what's his name? Landon Dickerson to center, and then I guess they'll try to find a new right guard. But it's just like they're going to be a good team again this year. They're going to be a good team again.
Another team that made a big running back move. The Ravens.
The Ravens definitely made a big running back move. Literally by getting a big dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, Lamar is infamous for not being able to beat the Steelers. Derrick Henry is infamous for not being able to beat the Steelers. I mean, you put them together, they're just going to keep losing to the Steelers. Hell, everyone wants to clown on the Steelers, but yet we went 7-1 in the AFC North.
Yeah, man. What was the record outside of the AFC North?
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, at least you were good in the division. That's a start.
Hey, all that matters is us beating the crap out of our in-division rivals.
That's right. At the end of the day, you guys, both the Steelers and the Ravens, ended up at the same spot without a championship. So what's the difference if it's the first round and the third round? And the same way.
Yeah, in the same way. And the Ravens, I think in the past 10 meetings, the Steelers have won 8 of them.
Wow, I didn't realize it was like that.
Yeah.
And it's like no disrespect to the Steelers, but like the Ravens are just a better team. So it's kind of surprising to see how the Steelers dominate that matchup, at least in recent history.
Oh yeah, it's been it's been something else. I always love beating the Ravens.
But going back to the signing, Derrick Henry, it's what, a 2-year deal? I can't find it on here for some reason, but I think it's a 2-year deal, right? And it's not a lot of money.
2-year deal, 16 mil. That has a max value of 20 mil and includes a $7 million guaranteed.
Yeah, so that's not a lot of money. They were making it do last year with guys like Gus Edwards and stuff like that because J.K. Dobbins went down again. So, again, you're not getting best running back in the league, Derrick Henry, I don't think, at this point in time. But he's still he can still be a top 10 running back, maybe top 5, depending on how you value the position. Because now, like, it makes the running game for the Ravens damn near unstoppable. Because you can't commit one body. Like, let's say for hypotheticals, you're running an option play. Most of the time, the quarterback's reading the defensive end or the furthest out linebacker for the read play, for the option play.
Yeah.
You can't, if the defensive end goes into Derrick Henry, you're leaving Lamar one-on-one. Not really a good idea. You commit to Lamar, you're leaving Derrick Henry one-on-one. Like, you cannot just send one defender at either one of these guys and expect the tackle to happen 90% of the time.
Yeah, you can't.
And I just think this offensive this running game for the Ravens that was already great last year with lack of talent in the backfield because of injuries, giving him one of the best bruising running backs. It's like, my God, Lamar's gonna keep it and he's gonna shake and bake you in the open field, or you're gonna get to Derrick Henry, he's gonna fucking break your nose going up through the middle. It's like they're gonna be a very, very tough offense to stop. Obviously, bringing in Derrick Henry doesn't really help, other than the threat of, like, now play actions are way more convincing than they were last year. Because last year, if they do a handoff to Gus Edwards, you can tackle him, right? Now this year, if they hit you with 3 straight Derrick Henry runs up the middle and go for a 4th one, but it's a play action, well, it's like, hell, we need to send 3 people Derrick Henry, so we're going to be pushing the box, and that gives Lamar more time on the play action. So I think that it'll help in that way. But, like, Derrick Henry's never been a receiver out of the backfield, which is what the Ravens thrive on, kind of in their offense. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. But, I mean, I think Baltimore was one of the best fits for him.
Oh, yeah. And even then, they might run more of a 2 running back set.
Mm-hmm. I think they're definitely going to be more of a power run team this year than they were years past.
Oh yeah, like 2 running backs, a tight end, and maybe 2 receivers, if that maths correctly.
Yeah,
and like you're gonna want Henry in there as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Then if you throw your second back in there, which is more of a pass catcher, now it's the option where it's okay, it's a play action, but now Derrick Henry might sneak out to the flat on the left, and you have the receiving back doing a wheel route on the right. And that can create some confusion.
Yeah. Well,
I did look it up. The last 10 meetings between the Steelers and the Ravens, the Steelers have a record of 7-3.
Okay, that's still It's still really good.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll keep on tabs of the running backs. There was a kind of a weird situation in Green Bay. So Green Bay signs Josh Jacobs, and maybe you'd be able to find a deal. Being weird with, like, oh, there it is right here. 4 years, $48 million. Pretty good contract for what you can get out of Josh Jacobs. And I saw a lot of Green Bay fans just completely salivating over the idea of a Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones 1-2 punch. Then it comes out about an hour later that they're releasing Aaron Jones. And it's like, oh, and he ends up going to the Vikings, if I believe.
Yes.
He ends up going to the Vikings. So obviously the 1-2 punch didn't happen, but that's also another situation of a player going to a division rival between the Packers and the Vikings. I don't know. That's happened a few times.
I cannot wait for these revenge games.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so we'll start with we'll start with Josh Jacobs. How do you think of the Josh Jacobs in Green Bay?
Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I mean, the Packers thrive on having a really good running back.
Yep.
And no knock to Aaron Jones, but I think Josh Jacobs is just better.
At this point in Aaron Jones' career, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Aaron Jones has been fantastic for him outside of a couple injuries recently, but at this point in their career.
I mean, 4 years, $48 million. 12.5 million is the signing bonus, and you're paying him $14.8 million in year one. So I guess they're front loading it and paying him a shit ton at the beginning,
which is how you'd rather do it as a 26-year-old running back.
Yeah, because 4 years, by the end of it, you're 30, and you don't want to be paying him top running back money if he falls off.
Right, exactly.
Because you never know with these things. It's a great fit. I love it. The Packers, like I said, they feast off of a good running game, and now you bring in one of the premier backs on the free agency market and in the league in general. This Packers team is going to be scary next year.
And one thing I like is kind of along the lines of what I was saying about Derrick Henry, with the opposite is like Josh Jacobs is a dual threat running back. Kind of like what you get with Aaron Jones. You know what I mean? Like a guy that can – Josh Jacobs could be your bell cow. If for some reason you still have a young quarterback in Jordan Love who had a good end of the season, but it's like we don't know if that's like what he really is yet, or if he just had a good run. If you're having these troubles, or if Jordan Love's having a bad game for any reason, Josh Jacobs can be your bell cow back. You can give it to him 25 times a game, and he could win you games. But he's also able to pass catch. I think he's just such a moldable running back where he could fit into any offense.
Oh, yeah. And let's be honest, that's only a few running backs in the league that you could throw into any offense, and they're going to thrive and not step down at all.
And I think it's funny how the Packers basically did that with back-to-back running backs between Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget A.J. Dillon, bro. That man is a beast. Quadzilla, man.
That he is. So we'll move over to the other part of that kind of I don't call it a fiasco, but Aaron Jones, I think it's only a 1-year deal for Aaron Jones. Am I correct on that one?
1 year, $7 million.
A steal. I mean, they don't really have a running back, obviously, since they lost. Who did they?
Alexander Mattison. They terminated his contract.
They cut his contract. They traded Dalvin Cook last offseason, or they let him go last offseason. I don't know. They kind of had some issues. They traded for Cam Akers, and he ended up being out for the rest of the season. So Aaron Jones, I think, he's going to be a placeholder running back. He's not your running back of the future, obviously, by a 1-year deal. Yeah. But it's you right now don't know who your quarterback is, like at all.
Sam Darnold.
Anyway, so you don't know who your quarterback is at all, and I think Aaron Jones is one of those guys, like I was just talking about, where he's going to be a rookie quarterback's best friend. Oh, yeah. I think he's still got enough in the tank. Again, barring injuries, which I'm not going to wood, we obviously don't want. This 1 year, Aaron Jones could get a lot of touches. Let your rookie quarterback have a stud running back there. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse. Well, I don't say nothing worse, but it's like it's got to be rough for a rookie quarterback to have no run game.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings quarterback depth chart right now is Sam Darnold, Nick Mullins, and Jaren Hall. Not the best quarterback group in the league.
I don't think I think they're going to draft somebody. I think they're going to draft somebody and start them. I don't know who it is, but it's going to be somebody.
I've seen a couple of mocks where they trade up and take J.J. McCarthy. But the Minnesota Vikings running back room is looking Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, Cam Akers.
And that's Cam Akers coming off a big I think it was some type of leg injury. So
yeah. And right now he's questionable, but you know how that'll be. But
yeah. But I like it. This is one of those guys. Well, Josh Jacobs obviously was the main one, but Aaron Jones is a guy I thought was going to Dallas. It was a cheap option, $7 million for 1 year. I'm excited to see what he does in up there in Minnesota, because I think they could have a good offense here. Again, barring obviously who they get as a quarterback.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, they have the weapons. They have the weapons that they could go out and actually do something good, but it's just a matter of getting that quarterback in there.
Yeah. Now,
because I was gonna say because it's just like you can bring in Sam Darnold, but we've seen the track record with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, we have.
Nick Mullins, it's Nick Mullins. He won him a couple games last year, but ultimately ended up throwing a pick to Cam Sutton in the last game to cost them the playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting, but I do like having Ty Chandler as their backup.
Yeah. There's a couple more running backs I want to hit on. One of them is we kind of talked about DeAndre Swift going into Chicago. I just think, I mean, he was always like decent with the Lions, kind of had some injury problems, and then really broke out last year as an Eagle. And I'm curious to see going to a much worse offense if we're going to see the same version of DeAndre Swift, or he's going to kind of resort back to what he was in Detroit.
I don't know. It's hard to say because we don't fully know what that O-line is going to look like because we don't know. Because we know they're probably going to take Caleb Williams 1. Mm-hmm. But we don't know what they're going to do with that next pick.
You also don't know what you're going to get back for Justin Fields.
That is true. And I know a lot of people have them taking an edge rusher at 9. But I'd say if there's a lineman there that you like, you take the lineman.
Yeah. I mean, I do like DeAndre Swift he's only 25. It's a 3-year contract. I like the idea of the pickup. I think you're banking on what he did in Philly to continue.
Yeah, you are a lot. But then again, you're banking on. See, it's tough because you're pretty much bringing in a rookie quarterback. Yeah. You're bringing in a running back that we don't know what's going to happen with him, if he's going to keep this progression going or if he's going to regress. I don't know. This is very, very tricky and a very, very interesting move by the Bears. They could just be trying to set it up for like 2 years down the road or a year or two down the road to where they're just like, hey, we're here. We're coming for the NFC North.
Yeah, and I of course, they're getting a weapon for Caleb Williams, and I can appreciate that. Like, you know what I mean? You got to give your rookie quarterback weapons. They traded for, oh my God, they got a receiver too. And I'm sure we'll talk about it later because off the top of my head, I'm blanking it. But they lost Darnell Mooney, and then they brought in another receiver, I think. Or am I thinking of Carol? Maybe I'm thinking of Carol. But anyway, you need weapons for your rookie quarterback, or he's not going to be able to do anything. So I like the idea of hoping DeAndre Swift can be your number one back, and we'll see how it goes.
Another running back that didn't have that great of a season last year, Austin Eckler signs with Washington on a 2-year, $11.43 million deal.
I am confused.
Why are you confused?
I didn't see the reason they went for Eckler. I don't know. I don't know. He's a decent receiving option. I think fantasy has skewed some people's opinions on him because I think he's a better fantasy running back than he is a running back. Which, and it's no disrespect. Like, he's also Eckler still he can be a good back, but I'm curious. They obviously have Brian Robinson, who they drafted 2 years ago. Who obviously wasn't your starting, maybe isn't your starting back, but it was. I don't know how to describe it other than weird. It could very much work out for him, and it wouldn't surprise you because, again, Austin Eckler is a good player. But he's a good safety net for a rookie quarterback, too. A guy out of the backfield, you know what I mean? It just, when I saw his Washington, it just kind of surprised me. That's all.
I mean, Washington did lose Antonio Gibson.
They did lose him.
So they did need another kind of piece to put in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you in your head it makes sense more than it does in mine. I don't know. It just kind of surprised me. That's all.
Maybe a third down back, or I don't know.
I just don't see him at this point in his career taking. And I think Brian Robinson is going to be their leading carry back, and Austin Eckler is going to be their second, with probably obviously more receiving attempts he's going to get than Brian Robinson. But there's also. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say there was one more running back I want to talk about. We lost him. Tony Pollard leaves Dallas to go to Tennessee on a 3-year deal. A report came out last week that he was open to taking less money to stay in Dallas, which I appreciated, but ever since his leg injury, it was just kind of like our offensive line was kind of weird last year. and Titans' offensive line isn't good either, so I don't know what the difference is there. I mean, shout out Tony Pollard. I mean, he's going to be decent with them, but yeah, I don't know. That's not really all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, they had a needed running back, and I guess they got it. But I think they had, don't they have like Tyjae Spears?
Yeah, he's going to split carry with Spears.
I don't know. That's a weird one. Or he kind of just seen that Dallas wasn't making any moves, so it was like, man, I got to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, trust me. Trust me. We kind of started running back because of some of the bigger names, but I don't want to take too long. We're already 30 minutes into this episode here, and we haven't really got through much. So we'll go through some quarterback. We're going to start rapid firing through the bigger names. You know what I mean? Because, we don't need to talk about Tyrod Taylor getting a deal with the Jets, even though he went from the Giants to the Jets, so that's kind of funny. But you know what I mean? We're going to rapid fire some of these. Biggest one, quarterback-wise, right now at this moment, Kirk Cousins going from Minnesota to Atlanta. 4 years, $180 million. New QB1 in Atlanta. How you feeling?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money for a 36-year-old Kirk Cousins.
But 35 and a half. Don't do that to him.
Sorry, 35 and a half. He's going to be 39 and a half by the time this is done.
I think they desperately wanted a quarterback, and that was probably just a market to get him. I mean, I think it's like, I'm sure teams were offering him good money. And Atlanta's like, well, if we want to make sure he comes here, we're going to have to overpay him a little bit.
Okay, so I'm looking at this here. I don't know how this lines up, but he signed a 4-year, $180 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
$50 million of that, that includes a $50 million signing bonus.
Yes.
He also receives $100 million guaranteed,
mm-hmm.
including $90 million in 2024 and in 2025, and then another $10 million in 2026.
There is a potential out after the third year, so they can get off the contract 1 year early.
But $90 million?
He's not going to get that. No, that doesn't. He's not going to get that in one season. That's with the signing bonus and everything.
But still, that's a lot of freaking money, even including a signing bonus.
Yeah, but like I said, I think it's just we have to realize what the market is for quarterbacks. Like the QB market, this draft class it just wasn't a good quarterback market. So to make sure you get a guy, you just have to overpay for him. And you know how the NFL is with salary cap. He'll probably play a year or two in this contract, and they'll restructure it. They'll add a year or two and bring down the cost per year. You know what I mean? Like Patrick Mahomes just redid his and opened up $21 million in cap space for the Chiefs. Like these guys in the front office know what they're doing. Like at first, it's like, wow, okay. Then they're going to restructure it. It's not going to be nearly as bad as it looks right now.
See, that's one thing that I do that agitates me a little bit is how many times you can restructure, just restructuring in general. Because when you sign him, that's a good signing. But then when it's like a year or two down the road, you're like, damn, we're eating all of this money. We have all this money now tied up into one guy.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's smart and a good move to restructure. But it's kind of just like now you don't have to live in the bed that you just crapped in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I got you.
It's kind of like an out, and I don't like that at all.
It's just, again, it's how the sport works. These front offices know what the hell they're doing.
I just think it's a loophole for paying someone a lot of money and then kind of just being like, whoop, we're not doing that now.
Oh yeah, no,
they're
I
creating a loophole around it, and it's just like you should have to lay where you sleep. You have to lay in what you know what I mean.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Reap what you sow, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then pretty much the only other one I think the only other one really worth talking about is Pittsburgh getting Russell Wilson for 1 year, $1.2 million, because the rest of it's getting paid by Denver still.
Thank you, Denver.
Hey, listen, I told you this was going to happen a while ago, and you were like, I told you it was happening.
Thinking about it more, all right, let's look at when Russ had true success. It was on Seattle. Seattle had the Legion of Boom. Seattle was a defensive-first team.
Mm-hmm.
They had a really good running back. Russell Wilson got all the credit. Let's be honest, he got a lot of credit. But it was that defense in the running game that really did a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it, Coming to Pittsburgh, he's got a really good defense and a really good running game with an offensive coordinator that loves to run the ball.
Yes.
So you're not going to rely on Russ. You don't need Russ to throw 35, 40 plus times.
Yeah,
every game.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is going to be interesting because when he did go to Denver, he was kind of like, oh, the savior of Denver.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that did not go well.
No, it did not. And now coming to Pittsburgh is kind of just like, just don't make the mistake. Just go play. Don't make the big mistake and let's just win these games.
Yeah. All right. We'll jump over here to receiver where I'm going to be honest, man. Receiver right now there's a lot more available players.
Yeah.
Honestly, like obviously Darnell Mooney going from Chicago to Atlanta for a 3-year, $39 million deal. Atlanta needs receiver help big time, especially with bringing in. You bring in a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, give him some more weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Now you have obviously Bijan in your backfield with Tyler Algier as your backup, Kyle Pitts at the tight end spot, Drake London, now Darnell Mooney. Like you're just giving Kirk Cousins more options on offense. So I think it's a pretty good deal for Darnell Mooney, who's I think Darnell Mooney is a pretty decent receiver, just a quarterback in Chicago.
Yeah, he did. It also didn't help that who did Chicago bring in? Oh, why am I drawing a blank?
What position are you looking at?
Wide receiver.
I'm not seeing nobody.
Not this free agency.
Oh, you're talking about DJ Moore.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It also didn't help him that they brought in DJ Moore.
It should have helped him, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It should have given DJ Moore was supposed to be their one, which would take pressure off of Darnell Mooney, but it just didn't happen.
Granted, you did have one of the worst coaches in recent memory.
That too.
I don't know how that Bears team with Mitch Trubisky was carried by that defense.
Yeah, they were. But like I said, for the receiver, I mean, Mike Williams just got released, so we'll see where he goes. Hunter Renfrow is a free agent. Allen Robinson was released. Odell's a free agent. Tyler Boyd's a free agent.
Come to Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Michael Thomas is a free agent. Let's see here. I mean, there's just a lot of MVS is a free agent. We'll see what he gets. Wow, yeah, there's a lot of receivers that are still not good at the teams yet. So receiver spot is just right now more just who's going to go where than it is anything else.
Pittsburgh has got to make some moves at wide receiver since they traded Deontay Johnson to the Panthers.
Yeah.
They did get a need at corner, but I was kind of hoping we would have taken Cooper DeJean in the draft, which probably won't happen now.
So we'll jump on here to tight end, and honestly, not too many big names. Jonnu Smith went from Atlanta to Miami, decent. Pretty much the biggest one is Mike Gesicki going from New England to Cincinnati on a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. Cincinnati gets some more help on that offense. I mean, they're losing T. Higgins because he requested a trade. They lost Joe Mixon because they traded him to Houston, which I guess we didn't really talk about with the running backs because we didn't sign. They traded him to Houston. Joe Mixon. I didn't even see did anything come what the trade package was?
I have no clue. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I never saw what the trade package was, so I don't even know how to gauge that. But I mean, it's great for Houston. Houston's having a really good offseason, I think.
The Bengals signed Zach Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're here. This is breaking news. Former All-Pro and Offensive Player of the Year wide receiver Michael Thomas has been designated as a post-June 1st release from the Saints after failing a physical.
Ooh.
And, he hasn't been healthy in, 3 years now?
Mr. Slants has not been that healthy.
Mr. Slants has not been healthy. No. Receiver. Yeah, but tight end, like I said, it's not a lot right now. The Mike Gesicki news, Noah Fant re-signed. Yeah. Sorry, tight ends. There's just not a lot going on right now. Is there any big free agent tight ends that are not really? Oh man, it's kind of rough, ain't it?
Yeah, not a lot of tight end movement this off season.
That's a real shame. That's a real shame. So, I guess we got to do what we love. We got to move to the offensive line, baby. You ready for this?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Carolina, pretty active, not going to lie. They signed 2 guards. Robert Hunt to a 5-year, $100 million deal. $100 million deal. There we go. And then they signed other guard, Damian Lewis, from Seattle to a 4-year, $53 million deal. They're banking on a better offensive line for Bryce Young this year. Obviously, Igam Ekwonu, their rookie from last year, tackle wasn't great. So I guess they're hoping a progression from him and then bring in 2 new guards.
Oh yeah, that should help majorly, especially with keeping Bryce Young off of his back.
Yeah.
And giving him time to throw, and then bringing in Deontay Johnson in the trade is really big. Because now instead of throwing to 30-something-year-old Adam Thielen, now you have a younger 28-year-old Deontay Johnson to throw to. And Deontay Johnson, statistically, is one of the better receivers in the league.
Yeah, he gets open.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he does. As long as Bryce Young can get him the ball, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Michael Onwenu re-signed with the Patriots on a 3-year deal. Jonah Jackson goes from Detroit to the Rams, so Detroit lost part of their was so good last year. I'll be interested in see how that goes. Let's see here. Tyler Biadasz, starting center for the Cowboys, leaves and goes to Washington, follows his former defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Good riddance to you. Another guy, man, left and joined the enemy. It's unbelievable.
Offensive tackle Morgan Moses acquired from Baltimore in exchange for a 2024 6th-round pick.
Who traded for him?
The Jets.
Oh, okay. Well, that literally just answered. I was about to make a comment that Tyron Smith, the Cowboys tackle, is still here in free agency, and I've been hearing rumors she might go to the Jets, but they just traded for, you said Morgan Moses?
Yep, from Baltimore.
Yeah, so maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't get signed there, and come back to Dallas, please.
And the Jets also signed John Simpson to a 2-year, $18 million deal.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's been more skill positions. I mean, David Bakhtiari, he was released from Green Bay. He's still a free agent. Laken Tomlinson from the Jets. Obviously, Tyron Smith, Cody Whitehair from Chicago, Connor Williams from Miami. Like, there's some pretty decent offensive linemen still available. And again, we're still pretty early into it, so by the time we get to Saturday, they could definitely all be signed.
Wait, Patriots offensive tackle Mike, can't pronounce that last name. Yeah, there you go. He re-signed on a 3-year, $57 million deal.
Yeah, I read that 3 minutes ago to you. Play back the episode. You'll hear me tell you that. Right after we got done talking about the Carolina guards. I
just wanted to reiterate it.
Oh, right? Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll move to the defensive side of the ball here. We're going to start with the edge rushers, okay? Former Houston defensive end Jonathan Grenard goes to Minnesota on a 4-year, $76 million deal. You know why he went?
Why?
Because Danielle Hunter is no longer on that team, baby.
Yeah. Danielle Hunter decided to leave.
He said, I'm out of here. So then now they're like, fine, we'll bring in Jonathan Grenard to replace you. They traded teams, basically. Danielle Hunter went to Houston. Jonathan Grenard left Houston to go to Minnesota, where I don't know how the hell that worked out. I really don't know how that worked out. They just did a little bit of a trade for each other. Leonard Williams, if you hear me, Levi, Leonard Williams resigns with Seattle. You hear that one?
Yeah, I heard that one.
Okay. Bryce Huff from the Jets goes to Philly on a 3-year, $51 million deal. I don't know how much you watched the Jets defense last season, but Bryce Huff was one of those guys that didn't get a lot of snaps, but when he got snaps, he was good now. So yeah. I hate that as a Dallas fan, but that's fantastic for Philly.
Josh Allen received a franchise tag.
He does. Yes, he did. Josh Allen got a franchise tag. The edge rusher, not the quarterback.
Yep.
Another one, man. Cowboys defensive end Dorrance Armstrong going to Washington to reunite with his former defensive coordinator Dan Quinn.
Gotta love it.
Unbelievable. I'm upset about that. I am. I don't know why they want to go play for the enemy, especially Washington out of all people, but it is what it is. Shaq Barrett. I don't know if you remember when Shaq Barrett was good for a couple seasons. He left Tampa Bay and he went to Miami down there.
Okay.
So he stayed in Florida. Let's see here. Dante Fowler left Dallas to go, guess where?
Somewhere in the division.
Washington, baby, for his former defensive coordinator.
There you go.
Dan Quinn again. There's still some pretty big free agents right now. Eric Armstead was released from San Francisco, hasn't signed anywhere. Carl Lawson hasn't been signed anywhere for the Jets. Randy Gregory from San Fran. Jerome Baker, more of a linebacker from Miami. Chase Young still isn't on the team. Only 24 years old. Nobody's given Chase Young a contract yet.
Ooh.
Calais Campbell from Atlanta doesn't have a contract yet. So, Bud Dupree, remember him? That's a Steelers legend right there. Doesn't have a contract. Jadeveon Clowney, college legend, not an NFL legend. College legend, doesn't have a team right now.
See, the thing about Jadeveon Clowney is he was more of a run stopper.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he absolutely boomsticked that guy,
but trust me,
it just sent his stock over the edge. It just sent him over the edge, and everyone expected him to come out and be this top-tier elite edge rusher when that's not his game.
No, it wasn't his game to be an every down edge rusher, but like you said, unfortunately, people saw the highlights, and that's what it was. Also, we can't forget Christian Wilkins, one of the better defensive tackles, go from Miami to the Raiders. Went to Vegas and got 4 years, $110 million. This dude went to Vegas and got $100 million.
Hey, don't go blow it all in one place.
Yeah, it ain't hard in that town. That's definitely true. We'll go here to. Sorry, there's not a lot of big names here, just kind of flying through them. The only problem when I go to linebackers, it's a lot of like the edge rushers still. Oh, Patrick Queen. How do you feel about that? From Baltimore to Pittsburgh on a 3-year, $41 million deal.
I love it. I love taking away something from the enemy.
Yeah, he's a good linebacker too. You need
Patrick Queen. See, the thing is, people are just like, "Oh, is Patrick Queen just benefiting from playing next to Roquan Smith because he's a dog?" I'm just like, dude, Patrick Queen is a dog himself.
He's been.
Patrick Queen is gonna solidify himself as a starter on this Pittsburgh Steelers, and when the 3 years is up, we're gonna extend him for another 3 years.
Okay, I'll take your word on that one.
We're gonna have him for 6 years in Pittsburgh. We're gonna win a Super Bowl with him.
So then we'll move on. I really do like to pick up for Pittsburgh because who are your guys' like off-ball linebackers right now?
Our linebackers are Cole Holcomb, Elandon Roberts.
Yeah, so definitely an upgrade, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely an upgrade, huh?
Because, I mean, we were that badly hurt at linebacker. We had Miles Jack come back in, wear number 16, and try and play middle linebacker for us after he retired.
I forgot about that. After he
went to Philly, retired. Later in the season, Pittsburgh was like, "Hey, you want to come play middle linebacker for us?" Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure, I guess. Frankie Louvu goes from Carolina to guess where?
Where?
Washington, baby, to be with probably is not his former defensive coordinator. I don't know. Washington got a lot of people. Washington was very active this free agency.
Wait, hold on. We forgot. I don't know if you said it. I can't remember. But Jerry Jeudy to the Browns.
I didn't even know that. What?
Jerry Jeudy was acquired. Jerry Jeudy to the Browns for a 5th and 6th round pick.
I don't even remember that. Honestly, no. I don't even. How did I miss that? Now people are like, "Oh, idiots! You forgot Jerry Jeudy." And I literally did not even know that. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy got traded from the Broncos for a McDonald's Happy Meal, basically.
So does that mean is Denver going into a rebuild? I mean, I guess it kind of always been but
I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, let's be honest, Denver has not been good since they won the Super Bowl with Manning.
Yeah.
It's just been one fall off after another, just bang, bang, and then I don't know. Denver should just sell house and rebuild.
I agree. We'll go down here. What's some other Levante David resigns to Tampa Bay. Kind of saw that coming. Willie Gay goes Kansas City, goes to New Orleans on a 1-year deal. There's no money reported on that right now, though. Kind of interesting enough. So Devin White's still a free agent. That's a 26-year-old linebacker from Tampa Bay. He's going to find a team very shortly. I'm surprised he hasn't yet. He's going to be a good middle linebacker for somebody.
Hey, he should go to Dallas.
Dude, please. I just need somebody.
Kenneth Murray signs with the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
On a 2-year, $18 million deal.
Unfortunately, with Kenneth Murray, I feel like the idea of Kenneth Murray is better than Kenneth Murray.
What?
Does that make sense? Like, the idea of what he was coming out of college, like, it's just better than what he's ended up being.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, I feel like if you get it, you get it. I don't think he ever really fully – I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of rambling on that one. But we'll go here into the defensive backs, baby. This is including safety and corner. Safety Xavier McKinney leaves the Giants, goes to Green Bay on a 4-year, $67 million deal. Basically just gives them safety insurance. Because I don't know who was starting a strong safety for them last year. But I know the secondary wasn't very good.
Not to interrupt you, but I can't remember. Did you say anything about Brian Burns for the edge rushers?
Oh no, I did not.
Brian Burns was traded to the Giants for a 2024 second and 5th rounder.
You know what I hate?
What?
The Giants got a really good pass rusher, and Dallas is just letting their offensive lineman leave.
Yeah.
I know I keep bringing up Dallas, but it's just like, I mean, I think it's a good trade for the Giants. Like, the potential. I know Brian Burns has been kind of up and down recently with some stuff going on, but it's like you getting Brian Burns at his best is going to make that defensive line insane.
Oh yeah,
It's going to make it insane between him. Oh my God, why did I forget the D tackle's name? Oh my God, that's going to piss me off. Not Leonard Williams because he left. Dexter Lawrence. Wow. Sorry. You could have helped me out there, buddy. No, between Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and then obviously you're hoping Kayvon Thibodeau really breaks out. They're going to have a nasty defensive line. They're going to have a nasty defensive line.
And that's about the only thing nasty about that team.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I mean, when you sign Drew Lock on a 1-year, $5 million deal.
Hey, listen, they got a quarterback.
I guess.
Chidobe Awuzie leaves Cincinnati for Tennessee. When we were playing the game tonight, how did you pronounce his name?
I don't even want to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even want to talk about that. CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, right.
Signing a 3-year deal worth up to $33 million with, guess what? Philadelphia.
The team that he said he hated when he left. He said he hated playing there. He said he hated them. And next thing you know, here he goes. Money talks.
Yes, it does.
They replaced him because Kevin Byard. I don't know if you remember, Philly traded for Kevin Byard like halfway through last season from Tennessee, the safety. And we were like, oh, that's surprising. Well, then he was not good for him, and they let him go, and he went to Chicago. So they brought in CJ Gardner-Johnson, who was part of their Super Bowl run the year they lost to the Chiefs like a couple years ago. So, maybe they have a rough secondary. Their secondary is not good. So I don't know what you're going to get off of Gardner-Johnson coming off an injury, but it's going to be enough for sure.
And now to Detroit, where CJ Gardner left. Carlton Davis is acquired from the Bucks.
Oh, I like that.
For 6th-round picks in 2024 and 2025, and in exchange for a 2024 3rd-round pick.
Okay. Now here's another one. Buffalo cleaned house. We saw that.
Oh,
Trey White was let go. Jordan Poyer was let go. I think there's one of the guys they let go in the secondary. Let go like Gardman. Jordan Poyer finds a home in Miami. He goes to a division rival, except in a warm state. Instead of Buffalo, he's in Florida now.
Yep. Xavier McKinney signs a 4-year, $68 million deal with Green Bay.
Yep, that's the first one I listed off when we went into defensive backs.
Hey, like I've told you before, sometimes I just zone out. All right,
dude's not listening. Now, does Trey White have a deal?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Trey White here, which is surprising. He doesn't have a deal yet. It's surprising he doesn't deal yet. Xavier Howard's still a free agent, but I don't know what kind of deal he's going to get. Jamal Adams is a free agent. J.C. Jackson's a free agent. Justin Simmons is a free agent after being cut from Denver. Kind of surprising.
Going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Stephon Gilmore, after a good season in Dallas, still a free agent. Hoping we bring him back. Patrick Peterson, who was cut from Pittsburgh, still a free agent. There's a lot of them. Levi Wallace, you want him back?
No, not really. He's a liability. Don't sign him.
Yeah.
He's the new what was that Cincinnati defensive back's name?
That is not enough information for me.
Oh, people picked on him a lot.
Yeah, I need.
He gave up the touchdown against the Rams, I think it was.
No, you don't. Eli Apple.
There you go. Levi Wallace is the new Eli Apple.
I mean, fair enough. Eli Apple was a talker, though. He was just an ass.
Yeah, he was ass on the field and off.
All right, so now, we're going to go to the most important positions on the field. We're going to the special teams unit, baby. The special teams unit and kicking it off. Oh, my God. Cameron Johnson leaving Houston. He said, forget a playoff team. I'm going to Pittsburgh.
Hey, Pittsburgh is a playoff team, bud.
3 years, $9 million. Do you really have an opinion?
I love it. We actually get a good punter in now.
Okay.
And not someone that'll shank the ball 20 yards down the field.
Yeah, that's fair. And, Houston was like, fine, Cameron, leave. We're going to take the punter from the Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. We're bringing in Tommy Townsend. They said, forget you, Cam. We're bringing in Tommy. They signed him to a 2-year, $6 million deal. Shout out to you. The Washington Commanders, oh, my God, dude, these guys don't quit. Kicker Brandon McManus from Jacksonville last year, and he used to be in Denver, too, if I remember that correctly.
Yes.
Oh, baby, how could I forget? The biggest move of the offseason. Dallas's only move this offseason. Re-sign Trent Sieg. Long snapper, baby.
Let's go.
1 year, $1.3 million. Shout out to my long snappers. When they posted the picture of him, it wasn't even him. He commented on it, said it wasn't even him.
You're joking, right?
No, it was one of those like accounts on Twitter. I think it was like ML Football. It's like one of those like wannabe reporter accounts on Twitter where they're not like officially part of the team, but they like do a bunch of stories. Gotcha. Didn't even post. It wasn't even him. He literally commented, said, "This isn't me." Like, and I thought that was kind of funny. But that's the only move Dallas did. It's the only move Dallas did. Moving on.
Hey, Jerry Jones is the reason you guys don't make any moves.
Before I get pissed off, moving on. Punter Corey Bojorquez re-signs in Cleveland for a 2-year deal worth zero money. There's no money reported, so I mean, okay.
He's working for free.
Hey, Aaron Brewer, long snapper, re-signs with Arizona. Roberto Sanchez re-signs, punter re-signs in Indianapolis. Braden Mann, punter, re-signs in Philly. Rick Lovato, long snapper, re-signs in Philly. Will Lutz, kicker, re-signs in Denver. And then Thomas Morstead, punter, re-signs on the Jets. You know what?
Go.
Guess who's still a free agent?
Who?
Presley Harvin III, punter, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey, you want a punter? Go get him.
No, we have one. Not really.
Okay.
Not really, but.
Hey, you left out one of the best positions in football, dog.
What did I miss?
The fullback, my
guy.
I
did. I'm so sorry. Let me go back to that. Fullback signings we had this offseason. Nobody is signed.
Michael Burton re-signed on a 1-year deal to Denver.
God damn it! It doesn't even tell me that. It says he's still you're unrestricted free agent.
Well, apparently, according to the NFL.com, he re-signed.
Well, good for him. Good for him.
Always love seeing fullbacks get re-signed or signed.
Yeah.
And I believe that is legitimately the only fullback.
It's kind of funny.
Hey, fullbacks are underrated. I love the fullbacks. Actually, I think. Oh, I seen a report. Adam Scheffner. Oh, I swear I seen something about Kyle Juszczyk reworking his deal.
Okay.
Or re-signing or something like that. I think he reworked his deal to create some cap space.
Well, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him.
I'm gonna go through here and see if there's any big. I don't think there's any big ones. That we missed. No, not really. Anything else you want to really hit? Like any free agents you want to talk about that we didn't talk about today?
I mean, not really.
Oh, you know what? There's one thing I want to talk about because I kind of have a weird, I just don't get it. It's Jacksonville trading for Mac Jones.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
It's weird they traded for a backup quarterback. That's what he's going to be a backup quarterback for him. And
yeah,
I don't think there's any, there's no way, unless obviously an injury, that he's going to play behind. He's not going to beat out Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, no, he's not.
And I just find it weird that he ended up in a spot where he has no chance to start.
I mean, hasn't Trevor Lawrence been dealing with injuries a good bit?
I was going to say, outside of obviously injuries, but it's maybe that's what it is. And if you're a Jags fan, let us know if you see the rationalization behind it. Because, I would have rather seen him go. I don't even know. What's a team that, is kind of in limbo with quarterback? Because, the team.
Washington.
Washington was the first thought I had in mind, right? They're going to draft a quarterback. So maybe you bring him in the back of the rookie quarterback. But then you drafted Sam Howell 2 years ago. He's been playing. Not great, but he's been playing. So it's
yeah.
Sam Howell was already your guy kind of sitting behind your quarterback.
Hey, for a good bit there, Sam Howell, even though he was on the shitty Commanders, he was top 5 or top 3 in passing yards.
He had a couple of decent games. His decision making is atrocious.
And his line was not the greatest.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to think of a team that's that could use a capable backup because they don't have a starting quarterback right now.
Vikings.
Yeah, okay. But I guess they got Darnold, didn't they?
Yeah, but I mean,
but they could have traded for Mac Jones before they signed Darnold.
Yeah,
it's you bring in a rookie quarterback, and you have Mac Jones as kind of the,
safety valve.
Your safety valve. If your rookie quarterback goes through a stretch of 6 games where he sucks, you put Mac Jones out there. It's I just thought there was places where he would at least have a fighting chance to start. And Jacksonville's just not that spot, unless, obviously, like I said, injuries.
Also, another talk on quarterbacks. Since the Steelers have signed Russell Wilson, there have been teams inquiring about Kenny Pickett.
Interesting. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think they'll move him, but if they move him, I've seen the Patriots were a team interested in him. There was 2 other teams I can't remember, but the Patriots were on that list. But even then, I don't see them getting rid of Pickett unless they're convinced that Russell is good for 2 to 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. Even if Russell's good for 2 years, now you still have to draft another quarterback.
Well, Pittsburgh, we love drafting quarterbacks and only hitting on 2 of them in the past how many years?
True. But I think, obviously, it depends on if Kenny Pickett's up for the idea. But it's Kenny Pickett sitting behind Russell Wilson for a year or 2 could do a lot for him.
Oh, yeah.
And I think trading him, it's okay, so now you have Russell Wilson for 2 years. You're decent. Then Russell Wilson's all right, I'm done. Or he wants to leave. And now we are back with no quarterback.
Nah, you trade Kenny Pickett and some draft assets to New England for number 3, then you take Jayden Daniels.
You out of your freaking mind if you think you're getting for anything involving Kenny Pickett. You might get a 3rd-round pick, but not 3rd overall.
Hey, I'm not a big fan of Kenny Pickett, but don't disrespect him with that third.
I don't
rounder,
think I am disrespecting him. I think it's actually being nice. Like, you don't see quarterbacks getting traded for that high of picks like that, especially a quarterback like Kenny Pickett that you like. You have nothing to go about. Like, what is there with Kenny Pickett that it's like you can see something?
He's young but has experience. I don't know.
That's what I mean. It's like there's nothing Kenny Pickett has right now that's like a team could be sold on him being their starter. So the team's not giving up a high draft pick for that.
Hey! I said and draft capital.
I still don't think you're like. I don't know. I think
like Kenny Pickett, a first this year, a first next year, and then a third the year after that.
I mean, maybe, but then you're just. I don't know. Now you're bringing in Jaden Daniels, who's going to sit behind Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's on the team.
Oh, shit. Breaking news from Adam Schefter. Calvin Ridley is signing with the Tennessee Titans, 4 years, $92 million.
Tennessee's a quarterback killer, or not a quarterback killer, a wide receiver killer.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, they are.
Because, that was going to play. I guess Will Levis is going to be their quarterback next year. But,
they got lettuce.
They got DeAndre Hopkins, Traylon Burks, who's been disappointing. Now Calvin Ridley. They got Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears.
It's weird in Tennessee.
I feel like it's weird enough to just be decent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. There's a weird enough ensemble of pieces that it's going to kind of work out.
But, I mean, granted, with how that division went this past year, who the hell knows who the hell knows who is going to win it?
Yeah, by week 6, Mac Jones could be starting for the Jaguars.
Hell, he could be starting week 6 and run 6 straight games and go 6-0.
Yeah,
and then they're sitting with like 10 wins or 13 wins or some shit like that.
Oh my god,
not 13. That math does not math. I meant 8 wins.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Whew. As the Packers have rebuilt their running back group, free agent running back A.J. Dillon has several options outside of Green Bay, with sources says he's looking at the Giants, Colts, and the Cowboys. We finally have somebody connected to us. That's all we even asked for. Finally, somebody's even thought about us.
Couldn't get Derrick Henry. Couldn't get Josh Jacobs. We'll take Quadzilla.
Listen, man, we have running back. Well, I guess we have Rico Dowell and Deuce Vaughn. I'll take A.J. Dillon.
Y'all are probably going to draft like Blake Corum or something.
I hope so. We need some type of running back in the first 2 to 3 rounds. Just somebody, man. I don't know. It's it's been a crazy free agency though. I will say, like, as much as I'm frustrated with my team, it's been a very fun free agency. There's been a lot of player movement, which honestly I kind of like. I think it's really interesting when players move teams because it's just like I understand there's like the loyalty factor. You like seeing a player stick with their team through their career, and that's cool. But like the thought of I'm trying to think of a player for example, but like big time star players moving teams is just really interesting to me.
It is because it changes the landscape of the NFL entirely.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine instead of retiring if Megatron decided to leave and go somewhere else?
Exactly. It's always interesting to see like players that are great like just leave. I don't know. It's cool to see them on different teams.
Or when I believe it was Randy Moss went to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Hell, even Tom Brady going to the Bucs.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was wild.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about today before we get on out of here?
Not really. I'm ready for AFF to start here in the next couple weeks, here in the next week or two. Can't wait to fill out my bracket.
That makes one of us. But we'll get out of here shortly. I just want to shout out my YouTube channel, Cloud2K. The support's been great. Been putting out Madden videos, been putting out 2K videos. It's been supporting all of them. I released one today. My second part, or not my second part, but another video of my Patriots Dynasty series. So if you want to see how I would rebuild the Patriots and play with them, then go check that out, Cloud2K on YouTube. I also, I'll throw it over to Levi for him to shout out his channel.
Check me out on YouTube, Garbage Gamer. I'm starting to get back into it. I'm doing a Super Bowl run challenge in Madden. Got 2 episodes out. Go check them out, and I should be getting a 3rd one out by Sunday.
All right.
Depending on when I can get a chance to record the next couple.
All right, let's check that out. Obviously, here on the podcast every Wednesday, every Saturday, and we will see you guys on Saturday. Peace.